both of these fighters to come into the ring. I had a chance to talk with them. Had a chance to meet both of them. What can you tell us about both of these fighters, both their styles? Do you know anything about them?
Well, what I can tell you is both of them are determined and come prepared. Nicole, she's more of a ground fighter. She's out of Gracie, Baja, Texas. She trains at Weapons at Hand. And you've also got Andy, who's coming from South Carolina, from Fitness Edge MMA. Well, one interesting fact is she'd like to attribute this fight to Mary Ellen Cano, who was recently died, which was one of our participants locally here in mixed martial arts, and happened to be a good friend of mine. And anyway, I want to give that shout out for her. But both of the girls are going to come hard, and they're really looking forward to it.
Steve, let me ask you a question. In terms of the schools that they fight for and train under, do those schools have particular styles that they teach? So can we expect a different style from each of these fighters?
Well, you know, every school is a little bit different. Some schools have
now fighting out of the red corner, her opponent. Welcome to the ring,
but,
Andy Wynn.
Most of them being MMA schools, you know, they do a little bit of everything. I'm not really sure, but I'm feeling more like Andy Gwynn's Fitness at Edge MMA specializes a little more in MMA. But maybe I'm wrong, but Weapons at Hand is, I know she goes with Gracie Baja to do her jiu-jitsu, and then Weapons at Hands for a stand-up. So some people have to outsource, and some schools have it all.
Okay, interesting. You know, just my experience in watching the MMA, I know some fighters like to stay up on their feet, really throw punches similar in the boxing style. Some fighters are always trying to get their opponent on the ground and try to submit them. That's really their strength in the wrestling area. Right. But, for instance, Georges St. Pierre, I saw one of his fights. They really had some discipline and stayed up top and just jabbed, really showed some good boxing skills. I was impressed with that.
Yeah, that happens a lot. Most fighters really, if you ask most fighters, they'll tell you they really want to be where their opponent doesn't want to be. If they're fighting a good boxer, they want to put them on their back. If they're fighting, a good jiu-jitsu guy, they want to stand up with them. You know, they want to capitalize on their opponent's weaknesses versus necessarily capitalizing on their strengths sometimes. Because everybody's getting pretty well-rounded.
Yeah, and I think the difference is in boxing, I mean, you have to prepare for all of those things in an MMA bout, correct? You've got to prepare to be up on top. You've got to be prepared to go on the ground. Boxing, I mean, you can prepare for a particular style, but there's only so many ways of throwing a left jab, right hand, left hook, and there's only so many things you can work on.
Well, I agree with that, but, like they say, the boxing's a sweet science, too, so they get more specific.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, now that our fighters are in the ring, let's get close and personal with them. First again, fighting out of the blue corner. She hails from Corpus Christi, Texas, where she trains at Weapons at Hand. She weighed in at 118.5 pounds. Please welcome Jordan Nicole Gaza. And in the red corner, she works out at Fitness Edge MMA in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. She has a professional record of 2-2. She weighed in at 120 pounds. It is Andy, the Asian Persuasion Wynn. Referee for this bout, George Allen.
All right, we're going to tap gloves right here. Remember the rules. No elbows, 3-minute time limit. Back up, ladies.
All right, Steve, both of these fighters have pretty similar records. Andy Wynn 2-2, and Jordan Gaza at 3-2. So it appears to be a pretty close matchup, just based on the records.
Yeah, it does. They're only one fight off from each other, so we'll just have to see what happens. It depends on who wants it most.
So the first thing we see is Jordan's a southpaw, so she immediately these two engaged.
All right. Oh, nice trip. She's going on to the mount. She's going to pry the face away. She's trying to get some shots in.
So she's trying to create some distance?
No, well, really, she's trying to get good control and get stabilization where she starts throwing some bombs, maybe. She's passing the side mount now.
but there's a definite strategy with Andy Wynn on the bottom. She's got to try to
recompose the guard. Absolutely, she needs to turn into her, bring her right knee into her knees, and try to beat it to her stomach and make the space, and just try to relax. She's trying to what she's trying to do now is isolate her opposite side arm. She's either going to go for an arm bar there, or going to try to reach across. And well, she went back to mount. Now it looks like she's trying for an arm triangle.
So Jordan on top is trying for an arm triangle.
Right, so she's going for it now. Well, she lost it. Back to side mount.
And I think what most uneducated viewers of mixed martial arts don't see is the strategy of what she's trying to position herself to put in a certain move, correct?
That's correct. She's working on that the opposite side arm. She's trying to isolate and separate it from the body. That way makes it weaker, and she can actually do something with it then. With her elbows in, she can't.
Andy looks like she's doing a pretty good job in holding off some of these moves.
She seems very athletic and strong. It seems like she's at a little disadvantage on the ground, maybe.
But these weren't advanced fighters, according to what I knew, so they weren't allowed to throw shots to the face.
Well, they're not allowed to throw elbows.
Okay.
Elbows, yeah.
So it looks like Andy is really trying to keep her head in close and not letting her chin or her face get exposed.
Yeah, what she needs to be doing is she needs to be trying to escape the positions and not worry about so much clinching. She's to go ahead and bump and move her. She's got to get her elbows in. She's trying to roll her now. She's trying to stand up.
There's no question who's in control of the fight from the very get-go here.
Sure.
Jordan is definitely controlling the action.
She's definitely the superior grappler. She's got her in a guillotine choke now, got her legs locked. There's a very good chance she's going to win the fight right here. Because if she pops her head out, she's doing a good job trying to get it out. She's tapping.
That's it. Wow, just like that, she was in control from the start. Jordan was in control from the start. And what's the move called? What is the submission move called?
That was a guillotine choke, and what she did was she went ahead and jumped guard on her and locked it in. She locked it in standing and jumped guard, and that gave her the leverage to finish it.
Gosh, I mean, it was a pretty intense move when she landed on the ground. I'm surprised that that Andy didn't get hurt when they hit the canvas.
Well, there's a natural response from the fighter that's standing to go ahead and resist, so that actually makes it easier on you when you land.
Okay. Yeah. No question about who was in control of that. It's an early stoppage, a first-round win.
Yeah, it's a shame. I think that she was trying to get off standing, and it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
You think that Andy wanted to keep the bout up on her feet?
Absolutely. Wouldn't you agree, Mike?
Yeah, and it turned out just like you said. She was she came to take it to the ground.
Absolutely, yep. Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you saw it. At 2:28 here in round one, the winner by guillotine choke, Nicole Gaza.